Hello everybody, my name is Blue and today we are finally back on an episode of Tiny Island Resort. Yes, the beautiful island resort with all the oceanic animals that you could dream of. And this episode we are building, it's quite a large episode since we are building the whole entirety of New Guinea, or Papua New Guinea if you just want to refer to the country. But yes, it's quite a long build, it's quite a big one, and it's not even all recorded, unfortunately. As you can see, there's already a building here that's basically nearly finished. There was something wrong with the recording. I know it happened before. I'll try to not make it happen again. But yeah, so there's quite a big building. But this building is going to be a dock. It's going to be the actual station for the boats. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, you know that we have Madagascar, which is a large central island to this park. Then we have some islands in between that you can visit via using the boat tour. But what I haven't explained is that some islands on the outside, this one being one of them, will also have these stations where you can take a stop. You know, you don't have to do the whole zoo from start to finish in a boat. There are some checkpoints where you can step out, stretch your legs, and have a look at some animals on the island, and then eat something perhaps, and then go on to your next trip to the next set of islands before landing again on the next large island. So basically this is like kind of a pit stop, you could say. And it's a big pit stop, okay, because it's even bigger than the Madagascar island that we did before. There are multiple animals on this island, but the main focus, obviously, since it's about the Oceania animal pack, is the flying fox, more specifically the spectacled flying fox from the new Oceania animal pack. Oh no, not animal pack, sorry, Oceania pack. But there's some other animals from New Guinea, like the cassowary and the saltwater crocodile. Now, I have left an empty spot for another potential animal, more specifically the tree kangaroo, since I was really expecting the tree kangaroo to be added to this game, I'll be honest. But I'm still positive. I'm still quite positive that they will add a tree kangaroo at some point in the future. So I left the spot open for if you would ever get tree kangaroos, since if you didn't know already, they are native to Papua New Guinea, or well, New Guinea in general, because also a bit of the Indonesian side. Some information about New Guinea actually. It's quite a big island, one of the bigger islands on Earth. I can't really rank it. I don't know the ranking out of my head, but it's one of the bigger ones. Okay, it's one of the biggest ones even, and it's a island that this is the actual only hard line border between the continents of Asia and Oceania, since one half of the island is considered Oceania, whilst the other half of the island is considered Asia. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the only island on Earth that is situated on two different continents. So that's quite extraordinary. And obviously this is the flag of Papua New Guinea, which is on the Oceania side of the island. But the other half is Indonesia. I haven't built an Indonesian flag, although I probably could, but I'm going to leave that for Borneo and Sumatra, since we will be doing Borneo and Sumatra at some stage in this zoo. But first we'll do all the oceanic animals, obviously. But yeah, so I used the Papua New Guinea flag to represent this island. I think that's the best way to represent this island, since it is actually two countries. But yeah, it's quite a big island, and there's a lot of biodiversity. There's marsupials that live on this island, the tree kangaroo, for example. So not only marsupials in Australia and North America, not only marsupials on Australia and North America, because there are also some marsupials elsewhere, but obviously still in Oceania. But yeah, so it's really cool to have tree kangaroos on this island. Now, I've done a bit of talking, but let's talk a bit about this build that I'm doing right now, since, like I said, it is quite a big build, and that's also the reason why it took a while to make, so I'm sorry if you've been quite impatient. Probably not, because no one really cares anyway. But yeah, this is a really big island, and I'm building multiple things on this island. The one thing right here being the cassowary enclosure. All the enclosures will be visible from the point of view of the boats, but all of these enclosures will also be visible from the point of view of the guests on the island from the ground. So I'm trying to make it interesting for both points of views. This enclosure in particular is inspired by like coastal Papua New Guinea, but also a bit of coastal Australian environment, since there's a lot of imagery on like tropical Australian coastal areas with like cassowaries walking over them and stuff. So I got my inspiration from that. I also added, well, obviously this kind of ruins the coast part, but I also added some swampy kind of plants, because just to represent the actual environment in Papua New Guinea since the north, because this is actually the north, although it may be misleading since it looks like south because of the way I'm showing it. But this side of the island that I'm building on is the north side, and the north is actually is very like wetlandy. It's tropical wetlands basically. Not all of it, but large portion of the north is tropical wetlands. So that's why I'm representing it with those tropical trees basically and plants. Not tropical, wetlands. Sorry. Besides that, I'm trying to use the new pieces a lot, since I haven't really used the new pieces into detail. The only place where I really pushed it a bit is the Kiwi island enclosure. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely watch it. That was the first proper episode with the new DLC. So I tried to use all the pieces in this build, since there is a lot to build, and I felt like Papua New Guinea is a good country to represent this kind of Polynesian architecture. And I built a nice sign as well to welcome you to New Guinea. I don't know much about New Guinea culture or geopolitics, so I can't really talk about that. But I'm sure you're not interested in that, because I'm sure all of you are interested in the animals. And I've already said that it's quite a diverse group or island when it comes to animal wildlife. Plant wildlife as well. Obviously, there's a lot of different environments. The north is more wetland tropical, south is tropical grassland kind of mixture. There's a lot of different environments, like mountainous environments and stuff like that. But in this build, we will mostly do the north side, since that's the only side you can actually visit. The south is basically blocked off by the mountain range, the miniature mountain range, if you will. But yeah, so there's a lot of different environments, and with a lot of different environments, you get a lot of different animals as well. But the ones, obviously, in this zoo are ones that you do find in the north of the island, being the Saltwater Crocodile, the Southern Cassowary, which has some range to the east, and also the flying fox. Sorry. The spectacled flying fox, which is actually, the star of the show at the moment, since it's the new animal added to the game. So even though it may not feel like a star since it's an exhibit animal, it still deserves love, and that's the whole reason this huge island set exists. I'm using these new volcanic rock wall kind of pieces. I don't know what they're called, but they're really cool to make these kind of wall pieces. I saw some imagery online, and there's these very similar looking wall structures. I assume from like temples, not specifically temples, but like more like ruins, leftover ruins. But it looked cool, so I thought I'll do something similar. Then what I'm building right now is going to be an empty enclosure, since, as I said, it will be for the tree kangaroos, any species of tree kangaroo, it doesn't matter. It will be added to that area right there. And I'm trying to mix it up with man-made structures, volcanic rocks. I'm using a lot of the volcanic rocks in this build, if you haven't noticed already. And then, as I said, some man-made structures right here using the new Oceania pieces. It's really fun to mess around with the new pieces. There's a lot of diverse pieces, and it's all off-grid. I'm not using any gridded pieces in any of the builds in this video, okay? I love building off-grid. It adds so much creativity. It's really fun. I'm really glad that Frontier added that feature. Well, not feature, but that they added a lot of off-grid pieces to this pack. I'm really grateful. I think it's something a lot of you wanted, especially with the thatch roofs and stuff being all off grid. It's great. It's really, really great. Now, this building I'm building right here is kind of like the staff building in quotations. There's nothing inside of there, but it gives the idea that there's a staff building inside there, and it's mostly just for the actual staff to access the enclosure. And it's also inspired by, I'm not sure if it's general Polynesian or specifically, or if it's specifically New Guinean, but it is inspired by a real building, or actually at least concept art of a real building, and I really like the style. What can I say? And one half will be for the Tree Kangaroos, the other half will be for the Saltwater Crocodiles, which won't have as big of a land space since they enjoy swimming anyway, right? But yeah, this was quite a fun build. I'm trying to mess around with the different shapes that we have and the different pieces right here. Trying to create some more intricate shapes than just, you know, rectangle. You know, it's really fun. That's the magic of off-grid. You can do these things. It's really fun. And, you know, I'm not the best builder out there, but I really love getting creative with these different shapes and stuff like that. And yeah, I really like this building style because it's really eccentric and like it feels over the top of these wooden beams and stuff like that, and it's fun. It's really, really fun. It's just very pleasing to watch. It is one of my favorite packs, I must admit. I mean, although I'm biased for the Tasmanian Devil and I really wanted the island theme, but this is what we were asking, or what I was asking, and this is a fan service for me specifically. I'm a huge fan, okay? I can't stress enough what a big fan I am of this pack. It's great. It's absolutely amazing. And, you know, I try to go into detail and try to use all the pieces I can. Eventually, I use a lot of the like different props that we got in this pack as well, like the netting and stuff like that. I try to integrate it, although it's more difficult since it's not the vibe I'm specifically going for, but I use the pieces. Anyway, you know, just to add more detail, I guess. But also, I eventually add those like TP kind of like faces to give this more of that like Polynesian vibe, like very spiritualistic. Maybe that's not the right term, but I'm sure it has some religious undertone originally. I don't know. I don't know the origin of those TP faces, but I enjoyed them really a lot. Yeah, that's not English. I'm incapable of speaking English right now. That's how excited I am. But yeah, I try to also make all the fences custom. You know me, I like my custom stuff like that, so I do that as well. And we're nearly entering the foxes, okay? The flying foxes, that is, not actual foxes. And now that we're close to entering the actual fox part of this video, I can do some explanation about my opinion on the fox, my opinion on the pack, and some general information about flying foxes. Firstly, flying foxes are the biggest species of bats, although there are different species of flying foxes, and I can't say which one's the biggest. It could be the spectacle, but I don't think so. I don't think the spectacle is I think there are bigger ones. But yeah, flying foxes are the biggest bats. And I'm not a bat specialist, but they are really interesting animals. Actually, a fun fact about bats that they're actually one of the most diverse groups of mammals that there are in general. I think the only competing mammal group that there is are rodents. I think rodents and bats are two of the most diverse groups. There are a lot of bat species, right? I mean a lot. Actually, if you want an exact number, there are more than 1,000, I think even more than 1,400 species of bats. That is I can't even name that many bats. I can't even name 10 bats, I'll be honest. Let alone 1,000. So yeah, don't underestimate bat isn't just a species, okay? Bat is it's a groupation. It's a taxon of many different species, and yeah, there's a lot. And I think rodents are the only competing ones. I think rodents is like 1,500 or 1,600 or something like that. It's very close, but yeah, there's a lot of them. And then the flying foxes are the biggest of them. And the spectacle flying fox are the one that we are building an enclosure for. And they are called the spectacle flying fox for quite an obvious reason, because they have this ring around their eye, like a pattern. a ring pattern around their eyes, which makes it look like they're, well, wearing spectacles, they're wearing glasses, which is quite cool. I'm not sure if the actual in-game model of the flying foxes are bigger than the... Why? I'm calling them flying... Yeah, flying foxes. No, I'm right. I'm not sure if they're bigger than the fruit bats, the Egyptian fruit bats. I'm also not sure if in reality they are bigger than the fruit bats. They could be smaller now that I think about it. I should have researched the size of actual spectacled flying foxes, but I do know that flying foxes are quite big, so chances are that the spectacled flying fox is on the big side of foxes, and possibly bigger than the other foxes that we have, the Egyptian fruit bats. But from what it seems, I think they're the same size, I want to argue, which I don't know the facts about the size, so I can't give my truthful opinion about it either. So I guess lucky that I don't know, so I can't criticize it. But if I would make a guess, I think they are bigger than the Egyptian fruit bats. Now, speaking of the bats, we are finally starting on the exhibit, the bat exhibit, which is going to be an outdoor kind of exhibit. The bats can fly freely, but they choose to stay where the exhibit is because they have no choice, actually, because it's all just looped. But the bats get these little huts where they can kind of like perch, is that the correct word? Perch under. And it looks cool, and I saw a lot of these kind of huts when I googled architecture, like Papua New Guinea architecture. I saw these kind of huts with these stacked wooden beams. A lot of them. It's not just this one. There's a lot of them. So I thought, you know what? Why not? And then some of the posts I hide with posts with the wooden beams. I mean, with like the driftwood. Other posts I hide with the rocks, the volcanic rocks. This was a feature I had with volcanic rocks as well. I tried to integrate with nature as much as possible. And then the last thing I do is add lots of plants and also the tiki faces, whatever they are called. I'm not a tiki faces expert. But yeah, last thing I add are those kind of things. But I guess enjoy the last detailing that I do on this little part of the enclosure, and also the final plants and tiki things that I add throughout the island. I hope you enjoyed this speed build, but there will be a walkthrough at the end of the video, so don't check out the walkthrough, since it is quite a big enclosure. You want to see it all into detail, right? So yeah, enjoy the rest of the speed build, and I'll see you at the end of the video when we will do a quick walkthrough of the island. But now let's get to the star of the show, the New Guinea. Look how big. And I've only built, like, I've only put water on one side since you don't see the other side, if that makes sense. But that's how it looks like. So let's just visit this as a guest. Experience it from the point of view as how a guest would experience it. So we walk over here. We just got off the boat. And we exit this little harbour. Look at that. That is a it's not a special building. It just feels very much like some harbour building. Not harbour building, Polynesian kind of building. And then the actual waiting line, I've put some detail into that as well. Made sure it's all custom waiting lines with the cool cassowary in the middle. So yeah, you can go through the waiting line and you can skip the line if you want to with this rope here. That's in if it's not busy, you know, you can just put the rope there and make the line shorter, I guess. But yeah, let's have a look at the first animals, the cassowaries, right next to the harbour. Look at that. I mean, it's basically an animal, but it's a cool animal, I must say. It's no, not base game. What am I saying? They're from the Australia pack, actually. So yeah, don't know where your friend is. Oops, I don't know where your friend is, but it's kind of a beach with mixed with wetlands, which doesn't make sense, by the way, because wetlands don't live in saltwater environments. Although, yeah, that's not completely true. They do kind of live in some. Yeah, I won't go into detail with it, but some wetlands plant do live in brackish, I think the correct term is. So this is an empty enclosure, but this is where the tree kangaroos would be if there were tree kangaroos in the game. So that's cool. There would be climbing structures, obviously, but I haven't added those since there are no tree kangaroos. So we'll continue. Actually, I didn't mention the food quarter, but there is a food quarter right there. So if you want some food, you can order it right there. And then a nice welcome to New Guinea sign with the staff building in the back. Okay, now let's actually continue. The next animal, which should be the salties, the saltwater crocodiles. And both of them are in the water, having a good old time staring out to nothingness, this nothingness will be Rottnest Island for the Quokkas in the future. But now the star of the show, the flying foxes. Added a nice sign, cool entry, and then here they are. Here are the flying foxes. Isn't that cool though? I love how they just fly all over the place, flying around the post. That looks so cool, and then they're perching up there. I love that. Perching up there. And there's a load of them over here. And they're so cute. And this is what I meant with the spectacled eyes. Wait, can I point one? Yeah, if you look over there, they have like these kind of circles around their eyes, which is, yeah, that's basically the the reason for their name. There's some over here as well, eating from... Yeah, that is so cute. Having a jolly old time, and you can see the coastline over there in the back, very sneak peek. And then there... Oh, I didn't know they would hang under it. That's weird, because now they're just... You know what? If that's what they want to do. And then finally, some more over here, chilling under this little hut. No one drinking, that's fine. Although if they would, you probably wouldn't be able to see it since it would be hidden under the rocks. But yeah, very, very cool. I really like the walkthrough exhibits. It's just so fun. And the tiki heads that I was talking about, really fun, really fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick speed build. Quick? It wasn't quick. It was long. I hope you enjoyed the speed build though, and I mean, you have to watch the Oceania pack speed builds on this channel, the tiny island resort videos. You should check it out. Although I'm not forcing you, so if you don't wanna, then don't, I guess. But I'll see you in the next episode, or whatever the next video will be. Bye bye.